It's not in the cards for you. I'm pretty good at insults, and I got the internet and a lot of free time.
The more I think about it, the more I think that those sugar daddy websites and the whole sugar daddy thing is disgusting in sort of a sense, because what you're saying is that you don't really want love, you just want sex. And that's actually fine. That's not the part that I find disgusting. What I find disgusting is that there's all these studies on age gap relationships where if the woman is younger and the man is older and there's like at least a 20-year gap, there's this sense of well-being, but you're allowing these women to control you by demanding cashola in order for you to hit that young pussy. And that's the gross part, that you gotta pay for this. It's basically just prostitution, which again, I don't have a problem with. I think that prostitution should be completely legalized like marijuana. And I might actually partake in that. The problem is the well-being issue. You see, with high telomerase sperm in middle-aged men, you have to understand that the semen itself is high in telomerase. I'm not trying to sound like I'm entitled to your pussy, because I'm not. I'm really not. You can do with your body whatever the fuck you want. And it makes no damn difference to me. Go fuck 1,000 guys, go fuck any other guy but me, I don't care. The problem is that the age gap relationship itself has study after study based on theories of well-being and why that is. And my personal take on it is if high telomerase sperm gives babies stronger baby DNA by making the strands of DNA more tactile, and there's all these studies on well-being, that high telomerase is a life giver. What you're feeling from those relationships where the dude is 20 years your senior is that feeling of serotonin, dopamine, and oxytocin from that high telomerase. You see, when a man hits 40 years old, there's a 1% drop in testosterone already starting to occur. And that part probably is why men between 40 and 60, again, these are studies based, are better at sex because they're more empathic. They're not based on like the whole dude bro culture of like, yeah, I gotta like snap the towel and be a big jocular idiot. By the time you're 40 to 60 years old, you're a little more cultured and sophisticated, and you can handle things a little bit differently than either being a whiny ass bitch about it or being a absolute fucking pig. You're kind of in this middle ground area. So what I'm saying is that high empathy region in the brain, the right supramarginal gyrus, is probably triggered by a higher ratio of progesterone, testosterone once you hit 40 years old for that 1% drop to have triggered, which would in turn probably trigger the pituitary gland, which would give you those high telomere children, which means that they're healthier, period, point blank. But also, you have to understand that semen gets absorbed by the uterine walls of a female when you come. And when you come, that goes into the bloodstream, which according to my thought process would cause the van der Waals forces of the antibodies to be more powerful for antibodies to detect pathogens within the bloodstream from further away, which would explain those feelings of well-being. This is very beautiful in a way. Also, when you eliminate things like fruits and vegetables from your system through the kidneys, you have a higher sense of well-being because these are healthier foods. So when you absorb something healthier and you eliminate it through the waste elimination system of the kidneys, like cold water and fruits and vegetables, it and meat in moderation, possibly, you're causing a sense of well-being. So that's why I'm so upset with the whole sugar daddy culture. Is why are you allowing these women to manipulate you by taking your money away when you're going to give them a better sense of well-being anyway, with or without cash? Doesn't it seem like you're a simp at that? What a simp is you're using money to manipulate women into having sex with you. It's something I did or tried to do about 5 years ago by offering $1,000 for a date to go out with me. That was simping. Like the golden rule is you don't simp to these hoes. You just don't. You don't pose money in order to get laid or to have a relationship, because and it's not necessarily prostitution. It's just the fact that you're using money to get laid, which is kind of pussy ass bitch behavior. Don't do it. So sugar daddies, don't give in to these hoes, is what I'm saying. Give in to the fact that there's a greater sense of well-being from high telomerase middle-aged sperm and that lower testosterone when you hit about 40 years old is going to make you more empathic in the sex department anyway. So you should tell them to fuck off. Nice car? Yeah, but you're losing money in order to get that young pussy. Think about it from that perspective, capitalists.
Ooh, it looks like my star is climbing. I just went to 2.59 thousand followers from 2.58 last night on YouTube. Subscribe, like. Let's get my power going. You know, it really speaks volumes for other people too, like age gappers, Marxists, people who are poor. I mean, I live in a boarding house, you know what I mean? And you liberals are out there talking about how you love the poor so much. But are you dating us? Are you dating me? Well, it seems like you like me enough to follow me on YouTube. I really would like to meet you so I could, have a girlfriend one day. It doesn't really matter to me. I'm not entitled to you. I'm not entitled to your body. It's not like it's a birthright and this is the medieval ages or anything. Largely that Right Now video was, I don't know, set in the vein of like those love songs like "Gimme Love," you like that forceful, like "you will love me" kind of way. I'm entitled to your love, just kind of like where you would end it like, "I'm not entitled to your love." I just kept going and going and going. But I'm really not entitled to your love. It's just like you're giving it to me anyway, and that's great. I appreciate it. It doesn't really matter to me because, like, when my parents are gone, they made a lot of money over the course of like my last formative years when I was in 8th grade to about 2 years after high school when they got out of the travel agent game. I know at one point they said that they had lived in like 10 houses in 10 years because they traveled around after they retired in 2000. And my parents really aren't, at least my mom's not terribly old, but my stepdad's getting up there. He's like 76, my mom's 66. But I'll inherit some money someday from them. They got 5 kids. They got myself and my brother, or 4 kids. They got myself and my brother and my 2 stepsisters. And they'll probably leave a sum of money to them. I mean, they're obviously living pretty large if they're going to go to Mexico for 3 months in January. In the middle of the COVID. But, they're thrill seekers. And then on my dad's side, my dad and my stepmom, my mom, my stepmom, inherited a whole bunch of money from her dad. He had 5 kids. That's why I messed that up. He had 5 kids. At one point, he had over $1 million in trucking lines for ocean spray. My dad got a pretty big sum of money because my grandfather had a bunch of cows in Fort Worth and a bike shop in South Dakota and an auto body repair shop. Like, when my grandparents on my dad's side passed away, my aunt remarked that it sucks that they're gone, but it's kind of like they all won the lottery, because they did inherit some amount of money. I don't know how much. My dad has a 12-acre plot of land that's gorgeous that he's tendered and proffered to since 1990. So what I'm saying, baby Z, Gen Z, baby, honey, whoever you are, if you're patient, one day I'm going to inherit a lot of money. And I'm not a classist. Like, if you're homeless, I mean, I'd still date you if I thought you were pretty and you were nice to me. If you're more likely to win my attentions if you're poor anyway, because you don't have that you're entitled billionaire attitude, which I guess I've sort of had sometime, but I'm sorry for that. I didn't mean that. I love you. And it's apparent that you guys love me, because my followers just keep going up and up and up. But I really need somebody with the resolve to have some patience, you know what I mean? I don't want my parents to be gone, you know what I mean? They're cool people, you know, they're interesting. Like when you're growing up, you hate your parents no matter who they are usually. There's always some part of like them that seems too conservative or too liberal. You know, there's always, this part of a normal part of growing up is you don't like your parents, but then you become an adult, and I'm 41 years old. So I have a right to say that I want to marry somebody between 18 and 24. It's just a preference. Create stronger baby DNA. I think we look cute together, cuddled up naked, like some daddy-daughter porn in a blankie, naked one day. And if that upsets your conservative tendencies to hear those words, well, I don't care. But you know where I live, you know what I'm about. Hit me up sometime. Maybe we can figure out how to date. So, I just walked through a large portion of Kendall Yards, which is kind of the ritzy condo neighborhood of Spokane. There's some beautiful fucking houses around. It's like all sunflowers and everything. It's a real nice, beautiful city. There's bridges everywhere you can walk on. There's all sorts of walking places. The park has a bunch of trails. There's Centennial Trail, which I haven't much hit up yet. There's All Around Brown's Edition in Paradise Valley. There's the Benny and June house where they filmed Benny and June. There's the Bing Crosby house where Bing Crosby grew up. They got the Bing Crosby Theater. Like, once you escape from downtown, sunflowers. Sunflowers are everywhere. I know that Spokane is a fan of its lilacs, because they got a lilac festival, but fucking sunflowers. Those are my favorite. Those are the manliest flower. You know what I mean? Sunflowers are my favorite flower, if I had to say, because you can eat them. They're the only flower besides like broccoli and marijuana that you can consume that I know about. Well, I guess cauliflower. I don't know. Probably not. You can eat rose hips and you can eat pansies. There's a lot of flowers you can eat. But there's a lot of flowers around Spokane. Just going up the College Street. I've been walking like somewhere between 4 and 10 miles a day. I'm trying to lose a lot of weight that I put on while I was in the hospital. I did put on some. I got up to 288 pounds. So I was like, oh, approaching 300 again. So now I'm down to 279 since I hit the Malin place. Yeah, just a lot of walking. People were telling me, you should walk more, you know. Well, I walk every day. There's times where I don't really do a lot of walking, because once you start walking like 10 miles every day, you have those skip days where you're not quite walking 10 miles or 8 miles. You might walk like 5 just walking around Malin all day. And I got a pedometer on my phone, and I put up some pictures kind of proving that I've walked all this. You can tell because I'm out of breath. Past where I need to be. I don't know. We're gonna just walk around some more. You know, I'd ideally like to be down to 200 and start pumping some iron. So I got 79 more pounds to go. I don't know how long that's gonna take, but I want you to want me, girl. I'm a fucking Marxist, you libtard hypocrites. Oh, you libtards, riding around in your cars, talking about how you hate pollution. Yeah, whatever, puppies. You know, I'm not really trying to start a fire here, but you baseball cap sheeple ass motherfucking Christian clones are average. You are average C-grade human beings. There's nothing special about you or the women you get at all. You are just simple fucks that often just use money to manipulate women to have sex with you. Oftentimes you're talking about pollution, riding around in your cars, being little fucking liberal hypocrites. Which is exactly why we need Marxism in this world. Because the state would control things and say, no, it ain't shit. We aren't going to be all the same. That's bullshit. That whole notion that communists are all about us being the same. Look around you under capitalism. These baseball cap wearing frat boy idiot retards that only care about themselves and their little ego trip because of their fucking religion. Fuck it. You know what I mean? Fuck it all the hell. You're boring. Boring human filth. There's nothing spectacular about any of you whatsoever. I got the most popular vlog in Spokane. If you were nice to me, I'll come on your podcast or whatever. But I don't need to be around a bunch of simple fucking retarded fucking clone fucks that got nothing to offer this world other than mediocrity. Oh, Kurt! Is that the only language you understand, you walking urban dictionary of nonsense? I really don't think there's a God. Prove it. What the fuck can't you live your lives without cars?
Serious now. You're out there thinking you're all fucking special when it's just a status symbol of pollution and greed and worker exploitation, and all these motherfuckers having to build your fucking car for you so you can live in this empire called America? You disgust me. Are you kidding me? Your carbon footprint must be a mile long. Shame upon you. Shame upon your car. You sheeple-ass fucking clones. Nice baseball cap, car boy. Fucking gross. Oh, and then the hot hippie chick or the fucking emo chick comes along, so you gotta impress her by looking all the same when communism is about being different and everybody being accepted. You ain't no fucking anything. Why can't you live your life without a fucking car? Put in my fucking world. Our fucking world. Why the fuck can't you live your fucking life? Go the fuck away.
It is weird as hell.
The Christians speak so much about evil being part of Satan, when Isaiah 45:7 says that God created evil. So everything that you're bitching and moaning about, the things that you do, because you're a bunch of hypocrites. Oh, don't fornicate, which means don't have sex with a woman that isn't a man or a woman that isn't your significant other. There's all those quotes about sex before marriage. You've read your Bibles because you're Christians, but you're having sex before marriage, and then you're preaching about fornication, but you're having all that sex with all those multiple sex partners. What the fuck, Christians? Why are you so hypocritical? Mark 23 says hypocrites are going to go to hell. You're going to go to hell for this. Plus, you're greedy with information. Be wary of greed in all forms, Luke 12:15. I'd like a bay too. Quit being the dominant force. You have this persecution complex that maybe you should let go of, Christians. There are people who are persecuted more than you in the United States. Like, say, atheists, in your denialism of us. You sex-craved hypocrites. Evil is
I'm real curious about the slutty behavior in Spokane during COVID-19. I mean, we just had a whole thing about the Delta variant, but I bet if you go past the Ryler bar about 10 o'clock tonight, you're going to feed on the foul energy of the squatties walking around that'll hook up with any guy for whatever reason over and over again. They're just like go sleep 3 at a time to a dude, 3 at a time to this dude, 3 at a time to another dude. But it's COVID. You know me, like if there was a slut walk through Spokane, I would probably go to it and try to hook up with some sluts. But it's COVID, so that really shouldn't be going on. It was like how cringeworthy the whole Biden inauguration was with the big crowds, everybody wearing masks, thinking they're safe. Meanwhile, the COVID rates are rising, especially in Spokane, especially around the downtown area. It makes zero sense why you would go down there to try to hook up with somebody. It makes zero sense why you would go over and over and over again to like different dudes a night or different chicks a night around Fast Eddie's or the Ryler or Bistingo. But there you are, slutting and hoeing around. There you are, man slutting, man hoeing around in the middle of the fucking pandemic. And then you call yourself Christians. You're out there fornicating, which means that you're sleeping with multiple sex partners, or you're bitching about atheists or whatever. Fuck you. Seriously, on behalf of all atheists and all rational thinkers, fuck you. So, let's say my dad and stepmom were gone in 20 years. And they left their 3 sons their 12 acres of land. And you were my wife. What would you do with that property? Send me a response to my email address, my first and last name, 79@gmail.com. I just want to know what kind of person you really are.
As an older guy interested in younger males and a libtard or whatever you want to call me,